Good morning, Year 6. Welcome to Thursday.
Hey, Year 6. You know what, Mrs. Moore, I'm excited about? Means that soon
I was going to say
this
tomorrow
is no longer a
shirt
thing.
off.
Yeah, tomorrow I don't need to wear this. After tomorrow, it's done. Never again in my entire life will I have to wear Penrith Panthers gear.
Nope, that's exactly right. We thought this meme was a little bit funny.
Very relevant as well.
Skipping class is just turning off my my video. If I
Audio.
in a meeting, just turn it off.
It's like, yeah, I'm here.
All right, let's move into our literacy. So our literacy, just continue on with the work you're doing, guys. You're doing a really great job. Just making sure we're doing our STAR tasks, making sure you're getting that guided reading activity done after our guided reading sessions each day. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to add from that. And then, you're going to do shared reading, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, shared reading. So today's our second day on fire. So this is going to be our last day on it. What we're looking for today, there's still more techniques, even more than yesterday, that the author has used inside this text. So we want you guys to find examples of it, and then we want you guys to evaluate the text. So on the next slide here, find examples. And like we said yesterday, if you can find more than one example of a metaphor, more examples of hyperbole, more than one example of rhythm, list as many as you can, try and push yourselves a little bit. Then what's the message inside this story, and evaluate the effectiveness of the techniques the author has used. So I want you guys to evaluate and say, has the author done a good job at using these techniques? Why or why not? And use some text evidence to support your answer. And that'll take us into writing.
So our writing, again, we're just using those slides that Mr. Martin showed you yesterday. There they are. So just choosing another slide. Remember, using a literary device, underlining that literary device. It doesn't have to be imaginative. It can be persuasive or informative. You can choose what you do. It's quick writes. They're just free for you to do.
Yeah, just remember, guys, 1 to 3 paragraphs. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah, not very much.
All right, so that will take us into maths for today. So in maths today, we're looking at this idea of bias. So bias and inaccurate graphs, and making judgments about whether we think that data is actually accurate that when we're presenting it. So you can see here that Mrs. Moore and I, we've created some graphs. And they're based off these statements. I believe that AJ Brimson from the Gold Coast Titans is a way better fullback than James Tedesco from the Sydney Roosters. And you've got to remember, I'm a Gold Coast Titans supporter, so we've got to remember that as well. It's going to be important. And Mrs. Moore believes that Braden Trindle is a way better halfback than Nathan Cleary is from the Penrith Panthers.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Braden Trindle, Sharks player.
It has to be good.
So what we want you guys to do is that we're going to have a look at this video here as well. It tells you what you need to have a really accurate graph. So on the next couple slides, there are the graphs that we've created and some questions that we'd like for you to answer down here. So you'll need to have a look at the data set that Mrs. Moore and I have made here, and you guys will need to make some judgments about it, seeing is there anything wrong with the graphs of how we've compared these two different players. Could there be any bias? So bias is when something is unfairly favoured towards somebody else or something else. Could there be any bias in these graphs? Why or why not? And thinking about what would Mrs. Moore and I need to do to make sure that our graphs are accurate and fair. So we've got one here where we compare AJ Brimson and James Tedesco. And on the next slide, it's the same 3 set of questions that compare Braden Trindle to Nathan Cleary. So what you guys just need to do is that you'll need to have a look at the information here in these graphs and answer those 3 questions for both data sets.
Those numbers on the side look a bit dodgy, Mr. Martin.
Oh, but why would it be dodgy on James Tedesco's side? Look how good. Look, it's nice and clear on AJ Brimson's side. That's all that matters, isn't it?
I'm just wondering about the size number you're starting at as well.
Wonder if that's going to have any impact.
I wonder if that's got a bias attached to it.
Surely not. I wouldn't do something like that, or you wouldn't do something like that, would we?
I'm not sure.
All right, that's going to take us into art for today.
So our art today, you have watched a video in our literacy contract on BTN about street art, and they go through and they talk about what street art is, and they a lady who does street art talks to you about it. They talk about a mystery street artist that goes around and does street art in the nighttime when people don't see them. So today we want you to try and do some street art yourself. You might want to use your name, or you might want to create an image for yourself, but we want you to have a go at creating something from that video that you watched on BTN. Now, I know I'm not the greatest at doing any kind of artwork. That's why I put in there, you can use your name. You could do some bubble writing and maybe different colors as it goes out, because that's what it seems to be. It seems to be a color on the inside, a bit of a frame, and then more color around the outside, all in bubble writing. So if you're very artistic and you think you can create a marvelous thing like they have in that video, by all means, go ahead. Mr. Martin and I would love to see that. If you're someone who's a little bit like Mr. Martin and I and not great at drawing, use your name, because I think that will be the easiest way to do it. But we just thought it'd be a bit of fun connecting our BTN with our art this week.
And also, just to make sure, we're not asking you guys to go and actually do this on the street.
No, we're not asking you to do it on the street. It's just inspired by street art. It's
doing it onto a piece of paper. The last thing we'd want for you guys to do is to get in trouble for...
No doing street art on the streets. It is just on a piece of paper and you can create that.
Yes.
All right, Year 6, have a great Thursday. Enjoy your day. We'll see you on our Zooms or in our reading groups.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Bye, Year 6.